listen close. Truth not hide forever. Hey. Colonel in the O's. Wyatt Africa, stand up. Hey. Legacy media all around. Headlines spinning round and round. Selling fear from town to town. Trying to keep the people down. Lies and fake news every day. Misinformation on display. Disinformation lights the way. Leading sheep so little lambs in line, trusting everyone inside, marching where them say is fine, never asking who design. Truth gets traded for political gain, again and again and again. While ordinary people feel the strain, caught in somebody else's game. Resistance is futile, never say. Just obey what you're told today, but the people waking up anyway. And the truth keeps finding a way. Resistance is futile, them cry. While their stories never quite comply, you can see it with your own two eyes. Truth lives on. It never dies. Them divide people left and right, turning neighbors into fights, clouding up what should be bright, hiding facts out of sight. They use people then discard, push narrative strong and hard. When the evidence leaves them scarred, them simply move the goalpost yard by yard. Cognitive dissonance in the air, contradictions everywhere, yet some still pretend not to care. Like the emperors got close. But a movement's growing every day, not from rage or not from hate, just folks who choose to investigate before it's far too late. Resistance is futile, them say. Just obey what you're told today, but the people waking up anyway. Truth keeps finding a way. Resistance is futile, them cry. While their stories never quite comply, you can see it with your own two eyes. Truth lives on. Hey, it never dies. Come and get a daily dose of reality. No hysteria, no manufactured tragedy. Take a little break from propaganda and insanity and step into a place of clarity. Inoculation against fake news infection. Yellow journalism without direction. Question everything, make your own inspection. Truth should never fear examining. The curtain, hear the story. Without all the money, facts should glory. Facts before ideology. Reporting the Wyatt Africa isn't just a name. It's ordinary people in the game, thinking freely, not seeking fame, refusing to be led by shame. Just check, relax and hear the scene. See what all the headlines mean. Objectivity sharp and clean like a river flowing crystal green. No need for panic, no need for fear. Take a look and make it clear. When the facts and evidence appear, the signal rises through the sneer. Resist. Yet more people question all the same, searching truth beyond the frame and refusing to play the game. Resistance is futile, no more. People looking on reality's door, seeking facts they're looking for and finding, but they can't ignore. Yeah, man, truth shines brighter than confusion. The noise fades, the facts remain. Colonel Chris and Wyatt Africa keeping it cool, keeping it real. Resistance is futile when the truth is coming true. Fade up, truth, 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 da 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 da, truth, 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 truth.
Good evening, folks. Welcome back. Chris live in the Western Cape from Wellington. Screwed the pooch today, refusing to kick the points on offer repeatedly, despite the fact that their lineout was virtually every time over in the lineout, and they kept insisting on beating against that wall. Finally went for the points, at least gave him a bonus point for closing. This is all to his glory. Awesome meeting you. You're just as great in person. Thank you so much. By the way, all to his glory. Thank you for my gifts. I got one set of gifts this evening. Also got something I talked about last night's gift. From all to his glory. Plus last night, you can hear me because the mic is around my neck. I think you're going to like this. I know I like it. I really appreciate it. This was really cool. I didn't realize this was a gift until I went and looked at it later on. They gave it to me last night at the meet and greet in Worcester, as the Afrikaners say. It's Worcester, but they say Worcester. So last night at Worcester, I got this gift. Then I'll tell you all about all to his glory. So this was given to me. I've never received anything from anybody in Braille before. This is Braille. Can you see the dots on there? This is a Braille document. This was a gift from two people. I don't want to be insulting. I think the correct phrase is hearing impaired. Two people came to my meet and greet last night in Worcester. The characters so I could read, because I don't read Braille. The Silver Eagle. From humble soil your journey grew, not seeking fame but earning it true. Across the world your footsteps fell, each path becoming a story to tell. Across the oceans, screen by screen, you have crossed the miles that lie between. With calm resolve and measured aim, integrity remains your name. South Africa has heard your call. So may your mission still press on, long after today's news is gone. For titles fade and headlines pass, but characters built to last. Lift your flight. May truth be your guiding light. May strength be peace, and peace be by your side, wherever future roads may guide. Isn't that super cool? That's amazing. That was a gift I was given last night. So awesome. Thank you so much for that. That's amazing. That was given to me last night. Tonight, all to his glory, does pay attention to my program. He knows that I like Kit Kats. This is going in the fridge to cool it down for a little bit later because I like them when they snap when they're cold. So I'm going to have a little fridge right here and myself Kit Kat a little bit later on. And I got another bookie. My little bucky. I haven't been able to find a small one like this in years. You know, I've got the one that goes on my rucksack, but he's all dirty. This is awesome. Awesome. Thank you for everything. God bless. All to his glory. Thank you so much. By the way, all to his glory is a young lady, lovely young lady. Thank you for that, young lady. Bucky. Cool. And I bought myself a bowling jersey today, in case you're wondering. That's right. Yep. Pretty cool. So I started easy, take the day easy today. I left Worcester, took my time, but before I left, I made a couple videos. I started a new segment called Cape Chronicles. We had Oranje Peels, now it's Cape Chronicles. And when I get to Gauteng, I'll come up with another segment. But so those Cape Chronicles are about my ventures in the Western Cape, excuse me, on the shorts. So already up to a couple of them. They're out there. And anyway, so that was going to be an easy day. I went to the stadium initially to buy a ticket. There's just a little stub of paper. It's not a proper ticket. It was 80 Rand. Where can you go watch a professional sports event for $4.50? Baseball. Then I parked for 10 Rand. The guy said, park all the way down at the end. It was like 400 meters away. I'm like, can I park here? I have a bad hip. And he's like, yeah, it's fine. So I parked close. Went to the game. I was recognized 5 times at the game. Bowling 5 times. It wasn't quite as crazy as Loftus is, but still 5 times people came up to me. The people I met, one of them all, and it was good company, and then came to my meet and greet tonight. So thank you for that. He lives in Worcester. So thank you for that. So thank you so much for that. And then it was funny because we went out to the field after the game to meet the players, which is cool. That's what I like about Curry Cup. It's just what rugby was meant to be. You can go out and see the players on the pitch after the game. And I was taking pictures with Willy Engelbrecht, I wanted, with a couple other players. And then some guy came up to me from Vike, I think his name was, and says, "Hi, you're Chris Wyatt." And I said, "Yes. Can I take a selfie? My mom loves your program." And so here I am out there on the pitch with the rugby players. We're taking pictures with fans. And then someone comes up to me to take a photograph. The rugby player's like, "What the hell's going on here? Who's this?" It was so cool. So 5 times recognized on the pitch today at the stadium. That was pretty cool. And then our friends from Wellington, who relocated to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, all to his glory and the family know them. And they called on a WhatsApp call. And I was talking to the family, my former guests. Remember them? Yes. That was amazing. It all just linked together. So cool. So then the game was over. I came back here. I set the meet and greet for 6:30 for a change to give myself a little bit of rest. I got here, and then one of my viewers was already here and wanted to meet me. The manager came and talked to me. I said, "Well, I said 6:30. I need a break," but I didn't take a break. I made a short in response to an email that I received about people complaining about something. I also made a prepared video about the elections, and I haven't edited it yet. So that hour went by very quickly, and I did it. So the meet and greet ended like, I don't know, half hour ago. So yeah, it went from 6:30 to 9:30, and so I'm finally back. Sold a few more of my music sticks. So I've got to start recording the other ones. I've got some backups now, but I still got at least 20, I think, and then I've got blank disc I need to record on. So I'll try to do that soon. But yeah, anyway, so my trip is coming together now. I have now booked. I booked a rental car. I booked a flight. I haven't booked any lodging down in KZN. I'm going to try to stay with the dairy farmers. So KZN is back in the mix. KZN is going to happen, folks. That's the 26th to the 28th. Yep, 26 to 28. I'll be KZN, okay? Let me just double check my schedule. So I booked a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, the flight I need to get back to Cape Town, network wasn't working in the middle of nowhere. So I could never, I didn't get my flight booked. Hopefully that seat's still available. Excuse me. This stuff, here we go. Okay. Okay, where the hell is it at? Here it is. Okay, so let's see what I've got booked now here. So I have on the 26th, I fly to Durban. I'll get there in the morning. I'll probably drive up to the Midlands and then overnight in the Midlands. And then I'm overnighting in Durban on the 27th, depart in the evening of the 28th. I fly to Johannesburg, and the next morning I fly to Uppington, where I'll be, and come back on the 29th. And then the 29th, that was the flight I was trying to, or the 29th, I fly to Uppington. Then the 31st, I fly back to Cape Town. I was trying to book my flight back to Joburg and then to Cape Town. So still working on it. So yeah, I haven't figured out when the Petersburg piece will be in here. I'm working on that. Nelspruit. Yeah, so I've got some more work to do here. Figure out some things. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, I'll figure it out. So yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nights in Gauteng I haven't sorted out yet for lodging or for where I'm going to be. So I think that I'll be able to figure out. I'll probably go to Polokwane, Petersburg, around the 17th and 18th. I have an offer to stay in a game farm, so we'll work that out. Anyway, so that's all in the works now, folks. Student gave 140 Rand. Thank you. It's an honor to meet you in person. Hey, Hein. I met Hein tonight. Also met someone named Heinz. Toys and just subscribe to your channel. Well, thank you, Andre. Did you just discover me? I've been doing this for 6 years. Appreciate that. Loretta still got music sticks, but you're not here. You're in Gauteng, right? Barbarella. Anybody seen Arctic? We're gonna have to send out a search party for Arctic. Dylan says RSA knows and loves you. Thank you, Dylan. I got to set up meet and greets for Woodbridge Island and for Bloberg Strand. Pete's Party said you're a celebrity in South Africa. Well, I mean, you know, it's amazing given how few views I'm getting my videos lately, but people watch my content on TikTok and Facebook that's stolen. So it's difficult to keep track of it. No, I'm not using any keyring yet, Night of Justice. They're all sitting in the bag still. So yeah, I have to leave a lot of these gifts behind with a friend in Cape Town while I go all around the country. I can't. There's too much weight, too many things. Yeah, lovely gifts. I like the new Bucky. That's really cool, and I'm going to enjoy that Kit Kat tonight. Thank you, Andre Fundavest for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate that. Please let others know. Tell 3 others. Channel will grow like crazy. Mike, okay, so Melsprit, here's the plan. So Mike, I have to do a interview at 7 p.m. on, I can't remember which day it is, the 12th, I think it is, with Conscious Caracal, whatever that Tuesday is. So hang on a second. It's the 11th, I think is when I'm supposed to do it. So right now, the plan is put overnight on the 10th and 11th. The 10th and 11th, okay? 2 nights. So I have busy time. I hope to see my friend Johan Orton while I'm there. Also Isaac Duplessis, and I understand Coleman is also there. I understand he's there too. I haven't chatted with him in a while, but I definitely intend to see Isaac and also see my friend Johan Morton. And Mike, I think you're hosting me, free accommodation, if I remember correctly. We can probably do the meet and greet at your place if that's okay. So the plan would be to do the meet and greet. It's going to have to be before 7. So the 11th, we'd have to do it like 4 to 7 or something like that. And then I have to go online, if that makes sense. So Nelsbrook, okay? That's the plan, okay? Well, I have to reach out. Isaac knew I was coming. I told him ahead of time. He was one of the few people that knew I was coming. So I need to let him know. And then, yeah, so that's the plan for the 10th and 11th. But I mean, I'll really just be in Nelsbrook for the whole day on the 11th. I'll be there the night of the 10th because I fly in on the 10th. I haven't made plans for the 12th. I don't plan on staying in Nelsbrook, but I mean, I can adjust if I have to. But I have to be back at Pretoria so that Friday night I'm at the at theater with Giselle. I'm doing a joint event with Giselle. Finally, after 4 years of trying this, 5 years, thank you, Judy Long, for the 140 rand. After 5 years of trying to do this, Giselle and I are going to have an event together. So looking forward to that. You guys remember Giselle, right? I hope you remember Giselle. So looking forward to that. That will be at the Blue Dog Theater, Blue Hund Theater in Pretoria East on the 14th. So I'll be doing that with Giselle. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. Cool Beans, you're in Nelsport. Well, hopefully you'll come to our meet and greet, Cool Beans. Okay. All right. So that's coming up. Okay. 10th, 11th. I may have to stay one more day. I don't know. I just realized that's a misspelling. I got a typo. Not that it matters to you guys, but I hate typos. A-T Island. There we go. Now it's fixed. Cool Beans. All right. So let me save that. Anyway, so my schedule's coming. The only thing that's left remaining is my trip back to Cape Town and some lodging. I know people have offered lodging. Appreciate that. I'm trying to parse through everything. The offer that was made for Polokwane for the game ranch, I will reach out about that. And then that means the Polokwane would have to be a daytime thing because I have to drive back from the ranch or to the ranch. I'm not going to drive at night, especially up there, a place I've never been. All right. So Big Dutch says, how you doing? Hope you're enjoying the trip and the game today. Disappointed in the outcome of the game. I think coaching needs to be improved. I would have kicked. They had like 7 attempts inside the 5-meter line. Every time they threw the ball. After the second attempt, I would have been kicking the points. If they kicked the points half the times, and they were makeable in almost every situation, then they would have had 4 more scores, which would have given 12 points, and they would have won this game easily. Instead of 15, they would have had 27. Yeah. Gus, what's up? Billy was also at the meet and greet. Billy said it was awesome. Thank you, guys. Kalahari Kali tuning in for Wisconsin. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Vibes? Nothing's going to happen to Fauci. There'll be no punishment. He gets away with it. No caps or refugee comments until I'm finished. Yep. Cool Beans. Thank you for that, Chris Wyatt. Okay. All right. So I think I've caught up with most of the chat now. Thank you for the super chats, guys. Oh, yeah, I know. Lambert's Bay. That's right. Yeah, Loretta, that's going to be probably in September if I can do it. I can't do it this time around. So it'll be in September, early September. Yeah, so I may do that. I may do the West Coast. Thank you. I know, Loretta. It's for some reason. It's right. You're West Coast. Yep. Okay, gotcha. Renee Hawthorne said the meet and greet was awesome. I thought so too. Thank you. Ooh. Now I remember why I don't drink Amarillo. That stuff is strong. Hey, Louise. Hey, Louise. I don't have my bear yet. Hopefully I'll get him back soon. He's already delivered to Cape Town. He should be. What happened there? We dropped off. We had 155. We dropped to 127. That was pretty quick. Oh, no, it's 148. I think this data's bad over here. What was in the news today? All right. Hey, Gus, I'm glad you're here. You're doing great. How is our friend there who's separated from spouse? Is that going well for her? Is she doing okay? I know you're keeping an eye on her. Yeah, the coffee was pretty lame. I'm not kidding. It tastes like dirty dishwater. No, Louisiana, he should already be at the location in Cape Town, in Parklands. So I just haven't reached out to them yet. So M Strauss, welcome to you. Good evening. All right, guys. So let's get to some news here. We're going to rip through the news pretty quickly here. Western Cape in turmoil with over 170 murders in 2 weeks, sparking urgent calls for action. Despite Sandet being deployed in the Cape Flats, 170 murders. Broken Arrow in Texas, $20 from Plano, Texas. Thank you, Broken Arrow. $20, that's real currency there. 5 months after the South African National Defense Forces deployed the Western Cape supported South African Police Service in combating rampant crime and gangsterism, the region is now facing alarming crises. In just 2 weeks, over 170 lives have been tragically lost and more than 100 individuals wounded, prompting renewed calls for declaration of state of disaster. You know, it's interesting. That's good to hear, Gus. Thanks. It's interesting because people talk about how there's no focus on farm murders. There's also no focus. It's not really addressed in a priority crime fashion way. 170 people killed. The latest murders include a mass shooting along Old Klipfontein Road, Nyanga, on Saturday night, which saw 4 males being attacked by gunmen while changing the tire of a Toyota Avenza they were traveling in. Motive for the attack was believed to be tax-related. Wow, it's insane. This is insane. More than 170 murders and over 100 attempted murders in such a short period of time cannot be treated as business as usual. Yeah, says Alan Windy. Well, what are you going to do about it, Alan Windy? Meanwhile, the Tafelberg Road is closed as firefighters. Folks, I'm looking at a photograph here. Light, crazy. Shifting winds are driving the blaze towards the summit, home to more than 2,000 plant species. Wow. What? We had the big Cape Town fires in 2021. It was arson. It was arson. I wonder what's happening now. Well, the final hours to register have come and gone. If you're not registered to vote for November 4th, you are screwed, bleeding, tattooed. And it looked like not a lot of South Africans urge eligible South Africans to make use of the final hours of station-based voting registration before the station is closed at 5 p.m. today. And that was 5.5 hours ago. All 23,699 voters a last opportunity to register and update the vote. And I saw very few people going to these places. And as I mentioned, those 4 men were shot dead in Nyanga while repairing a flat tire. Good God. Traveling a Toyota Avenza along Old Klipfontein Road at 9:55 when they stopped to repair a flat tire. Fatal gunshot wounds declared dead at the scene. Give me crickets. So 3 sisters speak out after their dad raped them for years. This is a sick story. Gerrit Vandenberg raped his 3 daughters from the time they were toddlers, stopping when each became a teenager, then gave them purity rings and promised to protect them. Compared notes in 2021 when one of them told their then boyfriend about the abuse. Their mother discovered that same week that all 3 had been violated by their father. After years of delays in psychological evaluations, Vandenberg pled guilty in November last year and was sentenced to 3 life terms. Family now wants to raise awareness and give hope to others in similar situations. This is crazy. Crazy, folks. Sad. Their father's in prison for life because he raped them for years. Now, 3 young women want to warn the world about men like him. The Malmesbury father was sent to prison for raping his 3 daughters over a combined 12 years from the time their toddler stopped and became. This week, Mia, 18, Adele, 22, and Anya spoke candidly to Rapport about the girls endured from early childhood. They regard it as normal, they say. When people hear the word rape, they think it's violent, horrific crime, but it's not a violent act. It was almost gentle. So you feel like, was it really that bad? Because we were taught that this is love, says Mia. Jeez. Anyway, 3 little girls. Sick. My dad would say I must cuddle with him. I would feel his heart. I need to switch off my brain, otherwise I'm going to suffer. And then it would start. Good God. See many crickets. Wow. Yep. Yeah, the world's full of pervs, man, unfortunately. A lot of bad people out there. Well, the High Court has reinstated Shawnee City manager. Yes, Mr. Mettler is back. Judges ruled the speaker exceeded powers by stripping 13 votes cast by councilors returning from leave to take part in proceedings. Johann Mettler is back in his job. The High Court in Pretoria has ordered the immediate reinstatement of Shawnee City manager Johann Mettler after finding the decision to suspend him was tainted by an unlawful ruling to strip 13 councilors of their votes. Yep. So Years Brink, I interviewed a couple weeks ago before I came here. He said that this was an unlawful vote, and he is correct. The court supported what he had to say. Brilliant. Well, I'm sure some of you have heard about this. What the hell happened with schoolboy rugby this weekend? Crazy stuff. 2 clashes at rugby matches after a brawl, and apparently someone used the K word. That's crazy. An ugly weekend in South Africa's school rugby by violence and allegations of racism. At a match in Pretoria, a mass brawl involving players, parents, and spectators broke out while a game at Cape Town High School was marred by allegations of pupil. It's a dicey connection. I'm shocked I've actually had a broadcast for this long. Hopefully it'll hold up because the internet is not great here. So fist flew during Saturday's Nordval Cup clash between Hogeschool, Menlo Park, and Hogeschool Dr. E.J. Janssen when a fight erupted during the first team match. Numerous videos of the brawl have since gone viral. The exact cause of the fight remains unclear, but footage suggests the altercation erupted shortly after the start of the second half. Violence escalated to the point that referees abandoned the match. Videos show those involved kicking, punching, pushing, and shoving as stunned spectators looked from the stands. Shirts were torn off during the melee, and one man appeared to knee another in the face. That's crazy. That's crazy. And I'm looking at this picture of this Tuballard, this fat-ass white guy with his pants hanging down around his ass and his shirt ripped up high. Looks like he's fighting with some colored dude. And this is not a picture you want to see in the press when you're that unfit. I'm telling you. Nordval Schools Rugby Association Chairman Tinus Diedrichs confirmed that they were aware of the incident. In a brief statement, he said that he instructed both schools to compile a detailed report. It's totally unacceptable, and it's something that has no place in our game. I hope that the schools themselves will also take action against individuals involved, whether they're learners, parents, coaches, or alumni. In a separate incident, Settlers High School in Durbanville was called off after the alleged. It's believed that one of the players was called the K word. I think we're going to need both coaches. We're going on here. I won't tolerate it. I'm going to call the game. Wow. What the hell's going on? And statements by both schools. Wow. This is crazy. It's rugby, guys. Don't ruin the game. Don't ruin the game. Don't ruin the game. Johan says, just listening to it was great. Thanks for all that you do to help us. You're welcome. Sean, it was awesome meeting. Thank you very much. Mike, you're turning 67. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, parents and family in baseball. Same thing happens. Yeah, happy birthday, but I don't have a cake because I'm not in my studio, so I can't do the cake. Happy birthday, Cool Beans. Sir Glenn has been given a timeout by me. Hey, Vilma, what's going on? Anyway, so it's okay. People are late. It is late. It's a late broadcast. I mean, a full day. I just finished. As Alwyn and Billy were there too. Got myself a Bowling Cavaliers flag. The lady held it for me. Appreciate that because I only have so many of them. So I made sure I got one. Anyway, no, that's going to fall down on me now. So let's put it over there. So Fleur's stars for Pumas to open the Kirby Cup account against Bowling. They get their first win. 15-20 was the score. Fly half Navaldo Fleur's Pumas to Sunday's Curry Cup victory over the Bowling Cavaliers in Wellington. In a game that was quite boring, and it should have been won by Bowling, but they didn't. Hosts struggled for accuracy and discipline throughout the contest, conceding 12 penalties in the first half and losing 2 players to sin bin. Quanda Damaza was yellow carded early in the match. Then James Tedder also spent time off the field for a high tackle. Despite their difficulties, they took the lead midway through the first half when Xavier Mitchell finished off a well-taken cross kick from Chris Smith. Yep, anyway, but the try scored. But congratulations to him. Very disappointing for me to have been at that loss. Yeah, my Super Bruce messed up too. Sasha Feinberg Umuzula will be back for the Argentina test on the 8th. So the star fly half was squad for one-off test in Argentina on the 8th of August. He had surgery on the ankle. I didn't have surgery. Wow, the 24-year-old who scored a Springbok records 37 points against South Americans in Durban last year was sidelined after limping out of a URC match in May. Yep. That's some good news there. Tehran says the Hormuz negotiations with Oman in the final stage. What does that mean? Are they going to charge people for the straits? No. Iran's foreign minister says negotiations between Oman and Iran are in the final stages with talks on future management of the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump says he's canceled tax to Iran subject to being able to rapidly make a deal. Oh, he's being a sucker again. He's going to pause strikes on Iran while the allies reach outline to end the war. Not going to happen, Donald Trump. Not going to happen. He said in a post after 10 p.m. on Eastern Time on Truth Social last night that Iran and other Middle Eastern countries request the U.S. hold off any attack because Iran has agreed to accept parameters to end the conflict. Bomb them. They will give up eventually. Murders in America on a pace to drop to 126-year low following illegal immigrant deportations, according to the Department of Homeland Security. Federal officials attribute the crime decline in the first half of the year to the administration's policies. Crime rates have fallen to historic lows across the United States, with homicides this year on track to register the lowest level in at least 126 years, according to the Department of Homeland Security. In the first half of 2026, homicides were down by 18% compared with the first half of last year. Carjacking crimes tumbled by 47%, motor vehicle thefts by 20%, robberies by 17%, and residential burglaries by 13%. And the only thing that's changed is 2 million criminals have been rejected from our country. Wow. Compared with the first half of 2019, homicides, aggravated assault, gun assault, sexual assault, domestic violence, robbery, and carjacking crimes are all lower in the first 6 months of 2026. Yet Sir Glenn Quagmire wants to come here and talk bullshit about America. That's the truth. Violent crime is down markedly. And you want to whine about violent crime, Sir Glenn Quagmire. That's why you got a timeout, because you're sitting here playing the fool. Trump's infrastructure strikes have left Iran shattered. The Washington Post, no friend of the truth, says U.S. attacks with threats of more to come. If talks fail, we're adding to economic pain that Tehran is betting it can outlast. Can't. Not at this stage. Hey, Riyadh. We appreciate it. Thank you for 140 Rand. I appreciate that. For months, Iranians reported relatively few economy-altering disruptions in the face of U.S. and Israeli attacks, despite thousands of airstrikes. But now the question is, can they survive now? Jay Clayton will take over as Director of National Intelligence on Monday. I'm eternally grateful for President Trump for the opportunity to serve as Director of National Intelligence while he completed historic declassifications, and we right-size OD and I have no doubt that Jay will do a tremendous job. Senate confirmed Clayton as the next Director of National Intelligence, a 51-47 vote after advancing his nomination series of largely party line votes. Yeah, the Democrats are just evil. They just want these offices vacant. Democrats' anti-ICE fervor has eclipsed Laken Riley's murder by a illegal immigrant, the law named for her. Yep. It may have seemed a logical vote at the time for Representative Angie Craig, who early last year backed a bill named after a slain nursing student, Laken Riley, that pressed Homeland Security to detain, deport illegal immigrants who commit even relatively minor crimes such as shoplifting. But 18 months later, in seeking nomination to be Minnesota's senator, she can't stop apologizing. Her chief rival and primary Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan is determined to make her feel that regret, regularly pointing to get tough immigration policy as proof Ms. Craig isn't right for the state that saw 2 deaths of U.S. citizens tribute President Trump's aggressive immigration policy. No, they committed crimes. I can't see the fires from where I'm at. I looked, but I didn't see them. Let me look. Maybe I can see them now. It's gotten darker. Let me see. You walk out here. Let's see. No, I can't see them. I cannot see the fires from here. But I'm not in Cape Town. I'm 45 kilometers away. That's probably why. Yep. Okay, what am I missing in the chat? Oh, I missed some chat here. The world regime is continually stroking the fire races and a surprise for a school. But yeah, no, it's not surprising, but it's sad. Don't need that crap in rugby. Rita Shea, thank you for 140 Rand. Went on Teams about to lose a game and we raised calling card. Colonel on all, please excuse me for the rest of the broadcast. Suffering one hectic migraine. All right, Loretta, feel better. Mike says, if you're flying up to Nelsprint, I'll collect it. No, I'm driving. Everybody on the stream is buffering since the beginning. The stream is not buffering. It's fine. It's you who are buffering, Mara. Must be something wrong with it. Your connection. Sorry about that, but we're not buffering. So hundreds of thousands of people line the streets of Amsterdam, the canals, yesterday to watch the city's canal boat parade, the highlight of the annual Pride Festival that comes this year just weeks after a deadly attack on a Pride event in Berlin. Openly gay Dutch Prime Minister Rob Jetten, dressed in a white shirt, black life vest, and gold necklace, waved to crowds as he sailed a small boat through the colorfully decorated parade of 80 vessels. So Pride. Amsterdam Mayor Femke Halsema, a Muslim, said in the aftermath of German attack authorities, wow, so they've got a gay prime minister and a Muslim mayor of Amsterdam. The country has lost its mind. ABC has accused the Federal Communications Commission of trying to censor their stations. Yep, in a 19-page regulatory filing posted Thursday, ABC's lawyers blamed FCC Chairman Brendan Carr for trying to censor the network by succumbing to President Trump's attacks against his perceived media adversaries. Their 8 TV broadcasting licenses are in jeopardy over early license renewal. Oh. 8 Disney-owned ABC stations were ordered to file for early. Wow. I guess they're going to lose their license if they don't file early. That's weird. The FCC is going to hold broadcasters accountable with the full extent of the law, regardless of any disinformation campaign that some may choose to run. Mr. Carr has questioned whether The View qualifies as a bona fide news program under equal time exemption rules. It doesn't qualify. The View is a bullshit program. It's not news. The pressure facing Fauci, lawmakers pushing for his jailing the 85-year-old doctor, once ahead of the government's COVID response, now face mounting congressional threats and legal risk. Anthony Fauci didn't know Rand Paul had his diary, let alone the GOP senator was going to release it, his friends said. So last Saturday, after the Kentucky lawmaker publicly shared years of Fauci's private reflections on everything from fighting COVID-19 to attending A-list events, Fauci went to another party. There at a party, birthday celebration, former White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain, Fauci mingled with friends and former Biden administration colleagues. They cheered and toasted him, apparently unaware that his critics were combing through documents that would kick off one of the most fraught weeks in his decades-long career. For a few hours, Fauci was back inside of familiar Washington. Then reality intruded. His longtime critics now control congressional committees, the health agencies where he spent his career, and the Justice Department that could ultimately decide whether to prosecute. After years of promising to hold Fauci accountable for the government's pandemic response, they are flexing their power to try. This past week offered an early glimpse of what the reckoning could look like. Health Secretary Robert Kennedy, a longtime Fauci foe, bragged about his department's months-long effort to scour 11 government servers to reassemble Fauci's diary and turn it over to Rand Paul. On Wednesday, Fauci faced hours of questions from Paul and fellow Republican senators. He invoked the Fifth Amendment right to not testify more than 100 times. President Trump, who said he watched the whole thing, criticized Fauci after hearing but sidestepped questions about whether he should be prosecuted. Fauci the fraud. And I said at the time I got censored for it. And it turns out to be true. Several states report cyber attacks as spy agencies suspecting Iran is targeting water. Federal authorities are warning that critical infrastructure systems in the United States could be at risk after at least 7 states reported cyber attacks that interrupt their water or wastewater operations. Well, quit putting your systems online, dumbasses. A 14-year-old used his lasso to save a man from drowning in the Yellowstone River. The teen rancher said he didn't think twice about using his lariat for more than just cattle. Jory Thomas heard cries for help coming from the Yellowstone River. The 14-year-old was at a campsite with his family in Gray Cliff, Montana. We looked up and saw the small boat and paddle boat had capsized after striking a bridge. 3 people were swimming toward shore, but one man was drifting downstream, clinging to a gray cooler. Before he had a chance to think, Jory sprinted across the riverbank with his lariat, called 911. Jory ran in chest-deep water, soaking his boots, jeans, and shirt. When he was about 10 feet from the drowning man, he circled his lariat above his head and tossed it towards him. On his first try, he caught the man around his head and arm. He said he tied the lariat around his belt buckle and started walking backwards, pulling in from the water, which is about 10 feet deep to shore. Wow. Well done, 14-year-old kid. Saved a man's life, saved him from drowning. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Chipotle is going crazy. Chipotle is going to start selling Mexican food in Mexico. Javier Jimenez will never forget the first time he tried Chipotle 10 years ago while visiting a family in Texas. He craved the convenience of fast food, but he hated how it made him feel until he had a Chipotle bowl. It's real food. Since then, every time he's visited the U.S., he's made a beeline to Chipotle's Mexican grill. This month, the burrito broke his way. Chipotle, the American chain that popularized fast food concept, has more than 4,000 locations. The U.S. has launched its most daring move, selling its Mexican food in Mexico. I think that's great. I think that's great. Fauci will be found guilty if they prosecute him because he's a slimy piece of human sludge. Billy Jacks is okay. Yes, Fauci is on par with Joseph Mengele. I think that's a fair thing. He's pushed the illegal immigrants back to Morocco. The crisis instantly became a touchstone of the global migration debate. Yep. Tens of thousands of criminal alien invaders were expelled from the tiny Spanish city on the coast of North Africa almost as quickly as they came, and calm returned to the beaches and sidewalks. Yep, 60,000 illegals arrived. That the enclave only has 83,000 residents. 67 people died. Well, that's what happens when you're stupid. Yeah, and this is what happens with Sanchez's government, a bunch of leftist wankers. And that, my friends, is the news for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. I'll try to answer some questions before we wrap up here. So what else we got here? Well, that was good news, Pete Haas. I just talked about, Paz Haas, I just talked about a 14-year-old. That was good news. Yeah, applause to 14-year-old. Yeah, he walked in. I thought he just threw it from the bank, but he went into the water 10 feet deep. That's crazy. Chest high, drug the guy back. It's crazy. All right. Yeah, Bill Gates, he should be prosecuted too. Now, underfunding agencies, crime is a reason for crime stats. The crime stats, see, you know what you're talking about, Sir Glenn Quagmire. See, this is just bullshit. You're trolling again. Crime statistics are reported by local law enforcement to the FBI. The FBI compiles the data. There's no and these agencies haven't let people go. They're not underfunded. That's nonsense. Sheriff's departments, municipal police departments, park police, military police, all these agencies report their crime statistics to the FBI. So there's less crime. Stop lying to people. What exactly is Fauci's crime? Lying to the American public, misleading the American public, causing unnecessary deaths. He's culpable. What is his crime? COVID scam? Did you not live through Fauci telling people that masks don't work and then telling you if you don't wear a mask, you get your grandma killed? Collecting over $500,000 in a federal retirement check every year is bullshit. No one else can collect that sort of thing. The fact that NIH allowed him to take the profits of their intellectual capital, of our taxpayer capital, that money should come to the taxpayer. Yes, there will be a meet and greet in Strawn, Somerset, and Gordons Bay. Probably at M. Eimer and probably on Thursday night this week. I think announced. Fauci's not a pawn. Fauci is an architect. Fauci lied to America about HIV in the 80s. Yeah, there it is. The thing announced just said the same thing. His date back to the 1980s. He's a piece of human sludge. The 3% tax on revenue, excluding BE companies, more racist legislation. I don't know, Corey. I haven't sat down. I haven't had time to sit down and map out the distance. Probably it's over 1,000, that's for sure. It's probably about 2,000 to 3,000 kilometers now. He also funded gain of function and lied about it. He committed perjury before Congress. Telling him he lied under oath to Congress, saying he never did gain of function. We have the evidence he did gain of function. Yep. 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 As long as M. Eimer is open on Thursday, I'll probably. Friday, I'll be back in Cape Town Center. BE is bullshit. We thought, Sir Glenn Quagmire, are you deluded? Are you drinking methyl alcohol? BE is the law. It's not an incentive. It's the law. If you don't qualify for BE, and the government controls 60% of the economy. So stop with the nonsense. Hey, Jason Stevens Photography. How are things on that side? Okay. All right. So we're going to play the trolling game tonight. Thanks to the people who showed up. Thanks for the super chats that showed up. On this side, I'm quite knackered. And I don't know why he's talking. Yeah, that's right, Charles. He also tried to blame it on the wet market. Remember that bullshit? Yeah. Chantel's feeling foolish. Yeah, I'm not feeling so great myself. Okay. All right, guys. Why don't we just wrap it up here? Okay. You want to hear a song before I go? No, we'll wrap it up, and then I will see you all tomorrow. Watch for my Cape Chronicles shorts. Okay. Kansas City, 24 October. I don't know if that'll be possible. Okay. Thanks, everybody. You're gonna have a good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay. Anybody going to the Stormers game against the All Blacks on Friday? I'll be there. Okay. Cheers. God bless and have a good night. Hit the like button if you haven't done already. All right. Cheers.